Hello and welcome to Nigeria at 65 with ITV. Today we sit with Dr. Uche Casey Emmanuel. Dr. Uche Casey Emmanuel is the Lagos State Vice Chairman and Coordinator Lagos West Senatorial District of African Democratic Congress. Dr. Casey, you're welcome.
Good morning. Happy day to you.
Happy day to you too. It's nice to have you here. Okay, we will be looking at Nigeria at 65. Nigeria is going to be 65 in a few days' time, and then we want to really look at where we are, where we're going to, and where we were before. And so because you are a Nigerian, we know that you know the things happening around in the country, so you will be able to be answering some of the pressing questions that we have gathered from people on the street. Okay, so let's just go straight to one of the questions we have on board. How do you assess Nigeria's economic growth in the last 6 decades?
Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers. But Nigeria at 65, just have to say a 65 years old person. So how has the person fared? So by now the person must have gone to school, have a child, get married, and probably must have been planning to go into retirement. Because at 65 in Nigeria, you've gone into retirement. It's a retirement age. No, they've increased it to 65. So which means that you must have done some certain things very significant. So Nigeria is no more a child. So a child that is 65 years must have done good. But in Nigeria context, we see that we are not doing well. In the last decades, we started well, but we are not ending well. If we look at, I would say that the impact of the Civil War does have some negative effects in the country. But after the Civil War, 1965, Nigeria peaked. 80, we peaked at the time that we have the Udoji Award.
Yes.
That we even have money to give dash people. And when we have Festac 77,
yeah,
where we bring other people in Africa to come and establish display art and other things. So there was money. But the question was, when there was all these things, how do we utilize them? In 1980, Nigeria was doing very well. 1982, the naira to dollar was very great. Then come 1989, 1988, 1989, this is when Nigeria began to diagnose. And what actually killed Nigeria the most was, sorry to say it, the wrong democracy we entered. I think that democracy is good, but the people that handled it do not handle it very well.
Okay, so you are saying that Nigeria at that time was not ready for democracy?
Yes, Nigeria as at the time wasn't ready for democracy because we are not ready for democracy because of the type of information or the type of society we were. I think we need more discipline reorientation before we enter into democracy. And I was born to see military rule. So I was used to military type of government. So we don't know what democracy is all about. For us, we don't really understand what democracy is. It even affected us in 1999 when Obasanjo came in. He said that we are learning the rope of democracy. And you know, when we are learning something, we can be making some mistakes. So, but that is not even our problem. The problem there was that there was no economic growth. That is where the problem is. There was no economic growth all these years. Instead of economic growth, we were having downsize of economy. Could you imagine in 1999 till now, during Obasanjo administration, we have what we call sovereign wealth fund, whereby the excess crude money we get from crude oil, we save it for the rainy day, and our national reserve was very high. So fast forward, when Obasanjo left office and the next government come in, we didn't see this National Soviet World Fund again. It disappeared. Our national, what do we call it? Our national money also disappeared. Now, instead of growing, we are getting back. If you watch it through that angle, you will see that the economy, before Goodluck Jonathan, there was no debt because Obasanjo has cleared up the debt. Now, Goodluck started borrowing again, which means the economy was not well managed. And by now, we are borrowing almost 200 and something trillion. That is not what Nigeria is as of today. Everything has turned upside down. So at 65, we are not doing very well.
So you think our democratic institutions have not matured enough since 1999?
Yes, I think we have to do something. Especially, we have to review the Constitution of Nigeria. It's very archaic. Imagine a child that is supposed to be growing. We are not even growing. We are not even stagnant. We are going back. In 1980, I remember in early 80s, Malaysia, Singapore, and some of these countries, we are at par with them. I also know that sometimes I read in an article that in the 70s, NTA Nigeria was among the best, even more than the Canadian televisions. That was in the late 70s. But what is happening today, look at our NTA. It's nothing to write home about today. We're not even talking about telecommunication, TV industries in Nigeria, and you talk about NTA. You talk about food security in Nigeria today. There's no food in Nigeria. In the 70s, we have granite pyramids. We have so many food, cocoa, everything. But today, where are they? They are no more there. So when you look at everything in Nigeria in fact, everything has scattered. Nothing is working in this country. Why? Because of our mindsets. So I think that at this 65, it's time for us to come back and have a retrospect within ourselves. Do we really want to make this country forward again? If you can go back in the confab, in the last confab, if we can have such thing again and say, let's just have these things together.
But the last confab that was held during the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's regime, I mean, they didn't use it for anything. So why do you think we should have another one?
Some of the resolutions that was made during that confab is very okay. If we can take those resolutions and implement, although time have overrun some, but I think that still very many of them is good. So if this government can be able to work on it, because I remember when this government came in, there are some white papers, they said that they should raise for some of those confab, maybe joining some ministries, merging some ministries together, and scrapping some ministries. So I thought they set off a committee to look at the white paper. But today, nothing has been said about it, which means it's the will to do it. It's not about we don't know what is right. All of us know what is right, but we don't have the willpower to do. So we are looking at the government that has the willpower and the people at heart to do it. Until we get such government, I think Nigeria will be at rise.
Okay, so that brings me to governance and leadership. Okay, what role do you believe leadership has played in shaping Nigerians' current situation at 65?
Well, I think leadership has played a very great role. We have had good leaders and also semi-good and also bad leaders. And you know, good ones. I think that Nigeria has the best leaders when we were a military administration.
Yes, I was going to come there. I think you believe so much in the military administration than the democratic administration.
Yeah, not that I believe it so much. The thing is this, Nigeria, Africa generally, we have this kind of mindset that we don't do things unless we are forced to do it. And I believe that democracy is good, but for you to have a kind of system that works for you, it depends on the people that want to determine the type of system that will work for them. It could work very good for Europeans because it is their way of life. So if you now try to force that kind of system for us, it may have effect. I believe in democracy, 100% democracy. But has it worked for us? See, people, Nigerians, Africa know how to abuse democracy. They will take you to court. Simple thing that normally you can overlook. But because democracy allows it, you see people going to court unnecessarily.
Okay, so let me get you clear. Let me understand you properly. Are you saying that it's not just the problem of the leaders? You are also saying that the citizens, you and I, also have a problem.
Sure. It's not only, you see, when you're a bad citizen, you're also going to make a bad leader. So it starts, first of all, from the citizen. Me as a citizen of Nigeria, if I have the good knowledge, if I have the right set of mind, if I have the right set of peoples, when you make me a leader, I will make a good leader. Because I know that the first thing I have to do is to make sure that the people with me, the people that are kept on my, for me to oversee, I take good care of them. So if I'm only there only about myself, what I'm going to, my family, me, myself, people around me, you see, that is what Nigerian leaders are for. They amass wealth for their children. Imagine when a governor could be paying over 3 million or 80 million for a child in primary school. 80 million naira for a child in primary school. All the money the Nigerian leaders have stolen, what have the EFCC done about it? So when, as a leader, I see that the other person in the last government stole money and nothing was done, I'll have the confidence to steal my own. Then those ones that are not leaders will be looking for a way to come into leadership so that they will siphon money. So leadership in Nigeria has become an avenue to eat money. And by so doing, it's affecting, look at educational system. In the 70s and in the 80s, if you school in Nigeria, you are automatic hot cake because our school is at par with European schools. I remember when I went to school, I have students from Cameroon, from Ghana. We are all there in school. But now all those people that are no more coming to Nigeria to school. Instead, Nigeria is now going there. In my department then, I have a Ghanaian, I have a Cameroonian. They are my classmates. But now, you hardly see any African in Nigerian universities because our education system has been corrupt. It does not have value again. You can use it to go outside the country. Nobody will do anything with it. So are we going up or are we coming down? Look at our health sector. In the 70s and in the 80s, we have a very good health sector where you can be treated in drugs. You have better drugs that have efficacy. But today, if you take paracetamol to stop your pain, a pain will start in your leg.
Doctor, please.
Because the system has been bastardized. Nothing is working. So at this now, will you say that Nigeria is working? Nigeria is not working. When you want to travel out, they look at your passport and it is Nigeria passport. They say, please come this way. So look at agriculture, look at education, look at employment, look at labor. How are they be faring? All the ministries in Nigeria, which one will you say is working? None of them is working. They are only getting bad and worse.
Okay, let me come in there. You know, the president of today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will have always said to us that we should give him time, of course, because he didn't create these problems. He met these problems on ground, and he has always asked that we should give him time, that at the end of the tunnel we'll see the light. What do you think about that statement? Do you think is the right thing for the president to say that we should give him time? And do you see him doing things that will show that, okay, we're giving him time, and then at the end of the tunnel we'll actually see the light? What's the take on that?
Nigeria is one of the best countries in the world that when they see you are performing, they will have patience for you. If they look at your mindset, they will have patience for you. Now, in the case of my beloved President Ahmed Tinubu, asking us to give him time. This is over 2 years we have been in this administration, and he's still asking us to give him time. The more we are giving him time, the worse we are seeing.
Yeah.
So, and the more they are traveling out, starting our money outside the country, the more Nigeria are languishing. Tell me the difference of what happened. Tell me the difference in Nigeria for the past 2 years. Have we gotten any better headway of this same APC government?
You know, that's what he means. He says, give us time. You know that a wrong cannot be corrected immediately. So the president says, give me time. I am working to correct all these measures that have been wrongly placed. He just came in. Yes. All
right. Now let's take power as instance. Power. This government come because if you're a good government, the first thing you're going to look at is what the people need, the need of the people.
Okay.
Solve it for them. When you solve the need of the people, I think you have solved 50% of their problem. Let's look at power. Before this government comes in, although we'll be having some problems in power.
True.
So before it comes in, how much was a kilowatt of electricity? I think a kilowatt of electricity was around, let me say 22 naira, 17 to 22 naira a kilowatt of electricity. And when they come in, we don't used to have much light. They said they are going to work on light and on power. Then, bam, before you know it, they now said band A, band B, band C. And I say band A will now be paying 127 or 190 naira per kilowatts. Do you know how many over 300% increase for you to pay for a kilowatt? And you know, when such increments are made, it affects every livelihood. If I'm going to barb my hair, if I'm using 50 naira, I barb my hair with 3,000 naira. But this has been the hair. Before then, I was barbing at 500 naira, 600 naira. Because the barbing salon man will not tell you, do you know how much I pay for light?
For electricity.
For electricity. Do you understand? Now, give us time, give us time. And there's no corresponding projects or for SMEs that can empower the citizens to have this money to pay. In your house, if you buy 3,000 naira worth of power, you can use it for 3 days. That light itself, you don't even see it. For those ones that doesn't have prepaid meters, they bring estimated bills of hundreds of thousands that you don't even know when. So is it what we'll be waiting for? We have waited and waited to come into transportation. Look at our transportation today. How much was fuel before this government?
Okay, so let me intercede there. I was going to come to that. I was going to ask you, when the government came into power, they removed the fuel subsidy. Do you think that was the right thing to do immediately when he took over?
Thank you very much for that question. I think the fuel subsidy removal is overdue because the country has been siphoned with these removals. I'm in support of removal of fuel subsidy. But what I think was wrong was the timing and the body language. I think that, first of all, before you remove fuel subsidy, there should be mechanisms in place for it before the fuel subsidy are being removed, because you don't remove something where you don't have plan how to readjust that thing that was done. You know, Nigeria is a very nonsense country. Sorry to use that word, because we always want to. In fact, an average Nigerian is a smart lawyer. You always look where there is a small shortcut, small problem, so that we use it immediately. If they say that, hey, it's like there will be scarcity of fuel, before you know it, transporters has begin to increase their fare. So what it happened, him being in Nigeria should have looked very well. That day that he made us broadcast, he wouldn't have said that fuel subsidy is removed. Because it was immediately he announced it, the body language problem started. So he would have kept cool. I'm 100% support of fuel subsidy. He would have kept, he would still remove the fuel subsidy. But I think the mechanisms was what caused the problem, not the fuel subsidy himself.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's go on by asking you, at 65 of independence, how will you describe Nigeria journey so far?
Well, so good. So far, so good. Despite that we still have some lapses, I think Nigeria has been wonderful. And we have grown.
In what area would you say Nigeria has grown for the past 65 years?
Well, I would say Nigeria has grown mostly in the area of communication. When you look at communication, I think Nigeria is among the best. One thing that helps us in communication is mostly our population also help us in communication. Because when you look at internet, Google, Facebook, the people that are most active are Nigerians. So Obasanjo helped us very much in communication. Because I remember before then we have over 400-something thousand landlines. And most of these landlines, we are not in good shape. Because I remember that time, the one in my house that time, sometimes when you want to use it, it will not, you know, when you zoom, so when you want to use it now, the sound will not be there again. They will not tell us that the cable on the ground has gone wrong or the wire has spoiled it, all those things. But Obasanjo now came and told us that even the malam that is inside the forest will have a phone. We thought he was joking. And before you know it, boom, everybody, phone now become a very common thing that everybody, communication, which is very, very important. I think we've done noble in this aspect.
Area of communication.
Yes, in area of communication.
Okay, so what area again will you think that Nigeria has done well at 65?
Well, the other area I think we've done well at 65, though we have not really done so good. But I think in terms of health, although we still have, some of us still have to go a bit, I think in terms of health, we have also done well.
But doctor, in terms of health, like you will say that we have done so well.
Not so well. Not so
okay,
well.
We have done well. We are getting to so well. Okay.
Yes.
But even at that, most big men in the country travels out of the country for healthcare facilities. You know, when they're sick, they do not use our hospitals around. They travel out of the country. So do you think we have done a little bit well in this aspect if our leaders cannot use our hospitals?
Yes. You know what happened is that politically, there's a stage you will reach in life. You'll be mindful of your security. Because Africa, generally, we are one kind, our sensitivity, our way of life is still different. Not that the facilities to treat them are not here. But sometimes if they are sick, they don't have that security. If they go to some of these hospitals, they believe because of the toes that they have stepped on, that people can bribe some of these health officers to hurt them. So because of those feet, so they always try to go where they know that they cannot be traced. Not mostly because of the facilities. Because I know that even some private hospitals have a very good facility.
You are speaking as a doctor now?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead. Please.
Yes, because I know that most medical hospitals have a very good facility that can treat us. But the thing is about safety, their personal safety.
Safety. That brings us to this question. What role do you believe leadership has played in shaping Nigeria's current situation at 65? You know, but let me lead you a little to how and where I want you to talk about. Okay, Nigeria, you know, a lot of us want to run out of this country for some reasons.
Yes.
Okay, everybody has a reason why you hear them use that language. We want to japa. Do you think the leadership has played any good role in shaping that aspect of the Nigeria, rather than saying, all we hear them say is, give us time, stay back, Nigeria will be good. But these youths are not listening to that and not waiting because they do not know when Nigeria will be good.
Well, I think that our leadership has not given us the hope. If you look at some state governors, I think most of them still has to go down to some state governors, not only the federal government, because most time we talk mostly about the federal government, forgetting that the governors are partners in progress. Now, if you look at, we have some few working governors that are doing very well. Now, if these governors that are doing very well can now come out and tell you, please have patience with us. If you now look at them and see the work they are doing, that patience will be there. You know that there is a hope at the end of the tunnel. But when there is nothing on hand, you are not seeing anything going on, and someone is telling you, give us time, give us time. If you just want to use less your own time. So the youth that are jabbering, I think that that's the best thing for them to do. If you have any opportunity to jabber. How much?
You're not helping issues here.
Yes. How much is a doctor being paid here in Nigeria? Do you know that the amount? Highest you say 500,000, 800,000, 1 point something million. But a janitor, somebody that's a cleaner in abroad, earns 5 times better than a medical doctor in Nigeria. So why wouldn't you jabba?
Because you convert the money. It's not paid in naira. You convert the money to our naira.
So if I go abroad now and work in abroad and convert the money back to Nigeria currency, I'll become a millionaire.
Doctor, we are not going to allow you tell all Nigerians to jackpot. I mean, you stay put there and then let's work Nigeria to be better together. Doctor, I'm going to come, before we round off this program, I'm going to come to the unity and nationhood of Nigeria. At 65, do you think Nigeria has achieved true national unity?
Yes and no. Yes, in the question that since I was born, I'm hearing Nigeria will divide, Nigeria will divide. And I know that till today, Nigeria has not divided. And tomorrow, Nigeria will not divide.
Yes.
So I don't believe in dividing Nigeria in my own. I believe in good leadership. When you have a good leadership, why people clamoring for Nigeria to divide is because they are not seeing good governance. When they see good governance, you wake up in the morning and the food that your children are going to eat are there. You have small money to pay for your house rent, to buy your fuel and to fuel your car. Why will you be clamoring for divisiveness? There's no need for that. But it's when you see that there's no hope for the country. That is when you say, let us divide. Let's go and manage our own resources. Let us divide. Let's go and manage our own resources. So I think that there should be unity. Let's all come together. America, do you know how many states? I think there are 50 states. So, and Michigan, I think is the size of Nigeria. It's still like the size of Nigeria. That is one state. So when they are united, they are more strong. Even if we can have United States of Africa, it will be stronger. So we are more stronger when we come together than when we disintegrate. So I think that let's come together as one Nigerian. And what will make it possible? Better leadership, good leadership. Let all Nigerians come out. Most of us are not politically exposed, but we are business exposed.
Okay, you are now saying that most of the youth should come into politics and make a difference, actually.
Sure. Most of us are shying away from politics, leaving it for the elderly, for the older people. And these older people are people that have used Nigerian to shine. So I think if energy, if youth come into politics with what they have in heart, look at Côte d'Ivoire. It's about 40-something years. They are president now. 41 years.
And he's doing well.
And he's doing very well. So if youth will come out and said, this country must be good, and they come into politics, the way we enter into communication and making look at what Nigerians are doing in communication, content they are doing in communication. So if we can have that mindset and said, and become politically exposed, because we can be educated but not politically exposed. If all of us become politically exposed, you will know that some of these things that our political leaders are doing, some of this money they are eating, they will not be eating it again, because everybody will be interested in what they are doing and how they are doing it and how they are serving us. So when you know that you have a responsibility and people are watching for your accountability, nobody will tell you to do well. And you know you are going there to serve, that you are not going there to make money. Also, our laws need to be refined. The law, the Constitution of Nigeria, we need a new constitution. It's overdue. So this constitution will help us so that this country will do better. At 65, if I have to rate Nigeria,
I was going to ask you that. If I ask you now to rate Nigeria at 65, but before you come to that question, let's take the last question before you answer what your rating at 65 is. Okay, so with the rising unemployment and inflation, what policies do you think can turn things around for Nigeria at 65?
All right. I think, first of all, we have to look at our finance. Who manages our finance? The CBN governor, the Minister for Finance, the Commissioner for Finance, people in finance. Do you put the right people, or do you politically? Because in the last, apart from this government, I think the present government have good cadastro. The CBN governor is very capable.
But being very capable, are you sure he's given the free hand to do what he knows how to do best?
Yes, yes, I think that if you come from the last government into this government, you understand that this government, although very limited, but they are still better than the last government in terms of finance, in terms of finance management. Because imagine the last government, why inflation was so high is that Nigeria at the time began to print money. The last government went into printing of money, turning out to Zimbabwe. And we will be printing trillions of paper money. So this government is trying to readjust to make it those mistakes that the past government, it is the same government too. Those mistakes that they did in printing money, trillions of money. So those things are what caused inflation, because there are so many money in public domain. But I also think that this government also have their own faults. But in as much as they have their own faults, they are working better than the past government financially. At least the naira is a bit stabilizing. Although when this government enters, the naira was to dollar was 500 naira, and the problem that this government created for us was that they float the economy. You know, before you have to float the economy, first of all, you have to be in control of the dollar. Do you understand? You want to sell phone, but you don't have the accessories. You don't have the accessories. That is, you don't control the accessories, maybe in your shop. So, which means that when you sell phone, those people that it comes to their hand can now sell it to any amount of money, because you don't have it more. You don't control it. But when you control it, you can be able to manage those ones that they have. So Nigeria themselves, or the federal government themselves, the worst mistake they did is good, but is that they float the economy. So when they float the economy as at now, that is why you see naira rise. You can't buy anything again. Phones that they used to sell for 80,000 is now 140,000.
Wait, phone? You're talking about phone? Cars?
Cars is now 17 million,
Yeah.
20 something million. Cars that we buy at 6 million before, 4 million before. Go and price it now. They're giving you 19 million, 20 million. For you to buy a very fairly used car now, it's 25 million. Which means 4 years ago, this car, you can buy it for 6 million. So why? Because they float the economy. So it is a very big mistake.
Quickly, what advice do you have for the government pertaining just what you have talked about the economy?
Well, I am not a financial expert. I'm not a financial expert, but I think whatever they do, they will try as much as possible to make sure that they have enough money, shop up enough dollars, reduce naira to dollar rates at least 1,000 naira, because I know it might be difficult to come more than 1,000 naira. At least if they can reduce it to 1,000 naira or to 950 naira, we can manage with that.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. So, but before you go, what is your rating for Nigeria at 65 if we ask that you should rate?
Well, if we have to rate, we can rate differently.
Yes.
Rate for this, rate for that. Maybe in this, what is their rating? Because when we say at 65, there are also places that we are doing well. There are places that we are doing well. Academically, we are still doing well, but that's on individual basis. All the good things that Nigeria has been doing is based on individuals, collectively, not as a government. You see some shinings that Nigeria has been shining. It's based on individuals.
Like we had a guest who said Nigeria is doing well on the side of music, you know.
Yes, yes, music. Music is another industry that Nigeria is wow. Music and entertainment. Music and entertainment. I think we are doing quite good globally on that. Music and entertainment, we are doing quite good globally on that. So, and I don't think it's about government. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's individual.
It's individual and collectively by groups. That is collectively by groups. And government has not even funded them. Even the ministers or the ministries on that has not even done anything to support them. So you see that an average Nigerian, when they are born, they begin to struggle. Right the first day you are born, you begin to struggle. So generally, if I'm to rate Nigerian, I would say that I'm giving Nigeria 45%.
Over 100?
Over 100.
At 65?
At 65.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. But anyway, your last word. What is your party putting together to, you know, help out in this situation? Because I know that the ADC is a new party that has just been formed by great men and women of Nigeria. Do you have policies that you think will change the policies that you think are not right in Nigeria?
Of course. African Democratic Congress, ADC, is the credible alternative to all the political parties in Nigeria. We have to tell you how we have come to change Nigerian narratives. We have 35% for women.
Yeah, okay.
35% for youths, because we know. Okay, look at the ages of youth in Nigeria, from 17 to 25 years, is about 70% of Nigeria, 75% of Nigerian population. And if you watch now from now to the year 2050, these people will be up to maybe over 200 million. Now, in this year, these people will also be the people that is going to be managing the affairs of this country.
Sure.
So for now, what do you have for these people? So my party, seeing what the future of this country, now give room for these ones, the women, the youths, which is making 70%, while others now could make only 30%. That is a credible alternative. Not only that, we also have laws that take care of the disabled, PWA, disabled. This is the first time in any political party that we have office or we have positions for the disabled. Look at the House of Assembly. No person of disability, no representation of disability. So does it mean that there's no ability in disability? Anybody can be disabled any day. So in our society, we see them as whenever you are disabled, that your hope is lost. So this is a party that brings everybody to be somebody. And also, having looked into the problem of this country, taking time to look at the problem of this country, we know that this country needs a change. And this party is the only good party that the youths, the women, the children, the adults, and the people that want good for Nigeria should come. We put our hands together to make Nigeria come into 100% from our 45%.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much. And truly, we wish you well on that. We wish you and your party well on that. And I'm going to say congratulations on Nigeria at 65. Thank you for joining us this morning on Nigeria at 65 on ITV. Thank you.